Finally, I got it. You know what? Homeopathic patients have to be really talented to get the right number of pills. Anyway, jokes apart. Today, let's go and talk to a young homeopath who is an influencer and a healer. She is a 5-star rated homeopath who is happy person and extremely passionate about what she does. Let's go talk to Dr. Sheetal Bidri, the homeopath. Hello, Dr. Sheetal.
Hello.
Welcome to our show, The Next Step. I'm very happy to have you on my show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So today we're going to tell our viewers about practicing homeopathy as a profession. And we'd like to know about the challenges, the perks, and everything, all this stuff. So let's get straight into it. So tell me, doctor, how did you get into this? Did you always dream of becoming a homeopathy professional? Or was it just a eureka moment?
Well, if anything, I was one person who did not believe in homeopathy myself, because my father is still a staunch believer of homeopathy, and he encouraged me to get into homeopathy since I was a bit clueless when I was in my PUC, and I didn't know I didn't know what was my next step at that time.
Okay.
So. But once I got into the system, I understood. So for the first few years, because I did not have the guidance, I was the doctor in many generations in both sides of my family.
All right.
I didn't have any godfather. I did not have any, you need somebody to guide through the whole process. So I was a bit clueless in the initial stages. Third year is when we start seeing patients.
All right.
Is when we have more interaction with patients and interaction with our teachers in terms of clinical aspect of our things. So that's when I had my guru who I look up to a lot, Dr. Usha. So because of her, I think somewhere I got that eureka moment that this is for me.
All right.
Because when I saw that she's able to treat so many women. So she was helping a lot of women to, conceive, to get a new life into their life. And that happiness is something what I saw, firsthand. Okay. And that's when I was like, this is something,
which I want to pursue.
Which, it gave me a sense of, wow.
A spark.
Oh, this is what these small pills can do. It can bring life into, the world. Right. So that was the moment that, from here, I did not think about quitting. From there, I did not, look down upon homeopathy. I started, reading better, researching doing my own research.
Okay. So every one of us want to know if homeopathy can provide a permanent cure, or does it have any kind of a side effect?
Permanent cure is a huge word. Okay. And there are two sides of this question: permanent cure and side effects. Okay. So let me talk about cure in itself. The term cure is like complete absence of disease.
All right.
Okay. Which is in our era, it is quite difficult to achieve. So any system of medicine, I would suggest that instead of using the word cure, we say it's totally treatable, it's manageable. All right. Right. Okay. So permanent cure. Now coming to a permanent cure, I would say that yes, homeopathy can give you a long-term sense of well-being, long-term sense of healing. Okay. Because it treats the person as a whole. Where we are trying to build a person to be more independent on himself or herself. Okay. So that he or she are sustaining healing for a longer period of time. All right. Or not being too dependent on external factors of medicine or therapy to feel better on a general note. I'm talking about a long-term medicines in terms of chronic diseases. Okay.
Okay.
So in that set of diseases, I will answer your second part of the question. That is the side effects.
Side effects,
part.
yeah.
Does it have a side effect? Right. Unless it is not prescribed by a homeopath, according to the principles of, we have 7 principles of homeopathy, and according to the principles, if it has not been prescribed by a homeopath, then probably you might have an extra effects of the medicine.
Okay.
If you're not taking the prescribed way. If you have something for 1 or 2 days, we are not going to give you medicine for like months to get that feel better.
I think they say treated or untreated cold stays for a week.
Yes.
So whether treated or not, it stays for a week. So
but when we give a homeopathic medicine, the week-long suffering can be cut short.
Can be reduced, is it?
Cut short to few days or even some hours as well.
Oh, wow.
So I have seen beautiful cures happening in like sometimes half a day, 24 hours, 48 hours.
Okay.
So we have been able to, it's the fact that you have to give the right medicine.
All right.
We have to customize every person depending on your history and depending on whatever you had been going through.
Right.
And what are your tendency, how your constitution is, how your temperament is, your emotions. So all of that put together, when we customize it to your personality for you as a person and not the disease, then there is a permanent restoration of health is what we call it, as it is termed, as it was termed as the body is supposed to be.
Okay, great. I've heard from the general public and a few of the doctors that it takes years for them to specialize in their subject. So how has it been in the field of homeopathy?
Well, we are no less than any other doctor, because if we are seeing, let's take an ideal MBBS course that is going to be 5.5 years,
right?
And then master's degree, and then there's DM, and then there is super specialty. That's what is your question, right?
Right.
So earlier, what I told you also that we as homeopaths treat the person as a whole.
Okay.
Right? So the speciality itself is the person in totality. Right.
Okay.
So firstly, our courses have again 5.5 year course.
Okay.
So we study the same subject as any other doctor, like an MBBS, where we study anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, forensic medicine, surgery, then practice of medicine, community medicine, and in the recent advancement, government has also added yoga as a part of the curriculum, biostatics and research methodology as a part of a curriculum. So all in all, we are at par with an MBBS student when you're doing our bachelor's. So our bachelor's degree is called Bachelor's in Homeopathic Medicine and Surgery. So yes, it might be a bit more controversial because we tend to avoid surgery. That is why we have to study surgery as a subject in itself. We have surgery as subject in itself. In the recent curriculum, there are certain parts of essential pharmacology that has been added in the curriculum with the practice of medicine. So the homeopath also is learning the basics of what is how an allopath treats as well. But in terms of understanding human beings and the microscopic, the macroscopic, the normalness, the disease part, our textbooks are the same, except that we have our own philosophy. We have the general principles and how homeopathic philosophy works. So it's been a gradual process, but I think we are at this point at the curriculum what we have in India.
So how is it being placed in the Indian context or in the global context? So how homeopathy has been placed is what I know. I mean, how it's been recognized.
Correct. Yeah. So after a lot of push and pull, from the inception of homeopathy, the founder himself being an allopath, he discovered or he came up with the system of medicine. It's the second most used medicine all over the world, right? After allopathy. Then second most used, according to WHO, is homeopathy. So in India, we are quite known to be as doctors, as physicians. we got the respect of how any other doctor is taken into consideration.
Right.
But when it comes outside India, homeopaths come under this bracket called as the alternative system of medicines, or it's called CAMS, the complementary and alternative medicine.
All right.
You would be a physician, or it won't be a doctor. They won't call you a doctor.
Okay.
But it'll be like a physician or a complementary therapist, or you'll just be a homeopath. You'll have 6 months course. Even but there's a part where a lot of homeopaths abroad are empowering each other to learn about homeopathy.
Okay.
Because it is not so well recognized. It's not been encouraged.
Can you please take us through your work process, the day-to-day tasks you carry out?
Okay, so since I have my own clinic, it's called Happy Healing. Firstly, that gives me the freedom of choice that I am my own boss. So I have my own individuality, my own style of working.
Okay.
So an ideal day for me would be, I would wake up, I carry on my day-to-day exercises, have a plenty amount of time in the morning for my own time.
Okay.
So I respect my me time quite a lot. So be it a morning run, or a session of yoga, post a session of yoga and run, or a strength training. I would meet some of my friends over coffee.
Oh, wow.
And then probably get back home, do my cooking, and start my day with what are the appointments I have today.
All right.
So my appointments get scheduled on the calendar, so I see what are the appointments through my day. And I have a hybrid way of working, that I do online consultation and I go to the clinic as well. I have physical patients coming in. I have patients from all over the world also connecting with me wherever. Thanks to technology, I'm able to cater to a wide amount of people. It's nice that I can reach out to smaller villages in India, and also bigger cities outside India also. So it's a very different
mix of everything.
And also my local people who are coming to the clinic as well. So I get through my day. I see my patients. I pack my own medicines. If there are any couriers, I pack the couriers. My courier person comes and picks it up for me. On a bigger picture, I want to be an example that you can, for my fellow homeopaths who are still budding, and to my patients, that you can have a hectic schedule and still be able to give time for yourself, for your friends, family, your work, your study. So that's something that through my day, I not just see the patients, but also there's a lot of point where I'm doing my study as well. So we have a lot of remedies to study from. So at least one remedy per day I have to read, otherwise it's incomplete for me.
So having said that, do you see any challenges in this field of homeopathy?
As simple as saying that, are you a doctor? Are you do you know this? Do you need diagnostic reports? Do you need to get reports done? So small things, so that they question, common public also question that, as if we are quacks.
The same here. Even I fear getting out the reports. Looking at the reports.
As if we are quacks, So it's not that. We also, since I told you, we study everything. So we need to know the lab. We need support from the lab technicians, the pathologists, the microbiologists, everybody to understand what the patient is going through. Right? So we are not claiming that we don't need it. We do need it, but our way of working is different. That's all. We don't give it too much importance, but we need it to prescribe your right medication. So that is one of the major challenges, that being treated as quacks, or being treated as not scientific. Like for example, Wikipedia itself says homeopathy is a pseudoscience. But to build a system so strong to be the second most largest used medicine system of medicine, it requires for it to be scientific. And any scientific experiment or system requires an observation, experimentation,
yeah.
observation, inference, and the result.
Right.
So
right.
our founder has done experimentation on himself, his family, his friends, and then come up to certain observations what he has done from the experiment himself, and then he's tried to understand what is it and created a result. So it is very scientific. It is another big challenge is why probably why they are talking about it as pseudoscience is because initially we weren't able to explain how the medicine works.
All right.
Right. So the mechanism point of view is not been explained so easily.
All right.
So because we focus a lot on the energy that runs through our body, like for example, now a car needs has all the parts.
Right. It needs a fuel.
It needs to be on, right, for it to work.
All right.
So something is, there's an engine that is on for it to work. Now, if we have all the body parts being placed in the lab, which is clone, how will the work?
Right.
There's some energy that runs through, which is making us, automatic. Our digestion is going on automatically. Our, respiration is going on. We don't have a control. So there's a force within us. We call it the vital force.
All right.
So a vital principle, or like prana or chi, and scientific in Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
So we focused a lot on that, and clinical trials or explanations were more to speak about that. But in the recent advances, since science also has been improving, I think thankfully some of the physicists have come up and done their research. For example, we have the IIT Mumbai. They came up with an explanation that it works on the basis of quantum physics and nanotechnology.
Oh wow!
So which was too ahead of its time when it started. Right. So when you are too ahead of your time, you will feel that revolt. You are facing those challenges that people are not accepting you. People are not ready to, back in the day, they, when they told you can do a video call, they say, "Are you mad?"
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's an advancement. So likewise, our challenges from being, as simple as are you a doctor, to explaining how our medicines
how this actually works. Yeah. So I think probably you
for
can
any doctor.
Yeah, for
it's
any
the youth. Yeah. it's the golden years that you lose out because you're mostly studying and you're probably not taking that Goa trip with your cousins or not taking that random night out with your friends. So because your focus is again a larger thing that if you want your patient should be comfortable, then they trust in you, and then eventually you will get comfortable with your life in terms of be it mentally, physically, financially, everything.
Okay, now that you have spoken about the sacrifices, tell me what are the perks you get in this profession?
Well, since I told you that, I am my own boss, so I have the luxury of time, if I have to say. So I can probably take a break and still be connected with my patient.
Okay.
So I can be anywhere in the part of the world and still be connected to my patient where, I could get on to a call and then tell them so-and-so, and get a quick consultation, and they can, start off with the medicines wherever I may be. And also that, one of the major perks which I feel is that, when a patient is satisfied with the treatment, it spreads the good word, goodwill towards homeopathy. And from the inception, I've always thought that, doing great for homeopathy is much better than just doing for yourself.
That's right.
Or for any just money or just fame or just whatever.
That's right.
More often than not, healthcare or being a doctor or being into this social service sort of a thing makes us think that probably, if you are not from a good financial background, you might not be able to lead a comfortable life is what you understand. No doubt that, it is a social service. It is that you're helping a lot of people, but you will have your own bills to pay. You will have your own things to do. And it is probably, it depends from person to person how you are financially educated.
Okay.
Which is a big, again, another challenge, because finance is something that is not taught to us, be it in a school, colleges, or a professional college.
Absolutely.
Which is a
Right.
big drawback.
Yes.
And I guess I got a bit lucky where, you know, I got some guidance in the nascent periods of my earnings. Like, for example, during my internship, we were giving stipend.
Okay.
So back then, it depends on the person as well. Now, my goal was always been that I want a clinic of my own. So when I started thinking that, and I started visualizing a future of me being in a clinic of my own, I knew that I would need to save up.
Okay.
So when we have given a stipend, I have not spent on random things. I have not. I've done my part of enjoyment, definitely.
Okay,
So
right.
I don't know what, if it is financial comfort that you're looking for. There are different aspects where there are corporate clinics you want to earn. You can make your own corporate clinic,
Right.
or you can. There is a need for more larger scale hospitals in terms of homeopathy. So if you are looking to grow it in that way, you can do that as well. So it depends on what is your goal and how you are willing to achieve it.
Right.
But a little bit of financial guidance from a certified financial advisor would help you plan how to be comfortable, not just by setting up a clinic, but also understanding finances in a much deeper level.
Tell me, how satisfied are you with your work?
I'm mostly satisfied. I mean, work-wise, I'm mostly satisfied. But I'll give that 1 point less, because this always gives the room to grow.
Okay.
So that, you know, I can do much better for my patients and for my learning to improve my skills. So if you say out of 10, I would give 9, so that I have that 1 for me to room to grow. So I'm mostly satisfied.
Great.
My key differentiator would be to empower people to understand the marvelous healing powers of the nature and the human body that it possesses, and encourage people to live more and more healthily, so that one day when they are with me as patients, I'm able to get them off medications.
So what is your next step?
So there are a lot of things that I want to do, but one of the main things which I have always been doing, and I want to keep continue doing that, is to giving back to the community, giving back to my homeopaths. And one way is to inspire them by just being myself.
Okay.
What I am doing, how I'm able to take care of my multifaceted life that I have, be it my fitness, or probably my enthusiasm towards food, or coffee, or travel, for the matter of fact. So I'm able to live a life which is fun, exciting, adventurous. Yet I am a doctor who's helping in the process of healing of many people, not just the next door in my clinic, but all around the world.
Right.
That would be a great satisfaction again,
Right.
and something that I'll continue doing and inspire more students to take it up and teach homeopathy more in deeper way.
Thank you very much for providing valuable insights into the world of homeopathy.
It's my
Thank you.
pleasure, and I hope I'm able to do justice to your episode with a homeopath.
Thank you.
Dr. Sheetal Bidri, the homeopath, who is extremely happy about what she is doing. Hope we were able to throw more light on homeopathy as a profession. I'll catch you on my next episode with another interesting profession. Until then, as I always say, your work should give you satisfaction, because satisfaction is success.